And we're off. Where are we off to, you might ask?
I'm going on an adventure!
This was a day to explore some thrift stores. The first place I stopped, of course, was my local thrift store to see what treasures I could discover. Whenever I talk about finding something at the thrift store, I usually mean this one. It's about 20 minutes from my dwelling place, and I found some beautiful treasures here. But since I've only patronized 2 thrift stores in the last several years, I've been very curious to explore some other ones. Do they have better stuff? Are their prices higher? These are questions I want to have answered, hence the adventure. At my local thrift store, my favorite spots to check are the linens, the clearance rack, and the craft corner. Also the jewelry. I have found some beautiful pieces of jewelry here. After acquiring a few spoils, it was off to run a few errands. One of them was getting the oil changed in the car I had borrowed for the day. Unfortunately, it ended up taking 2.5 hours. But once that was taken care of, I was able to head up to the other thrift store I occasionally go to when in the big city. It's a little more expensive than my local thrift store, and it's a good deal larger, so it does take a bit more time to search through. I have found a couple of beautiful items here, but it's a rarity. I usually leave this one empty-handed, as I did on this day. Well, that was a bust. But that's okay. It usually is at this thrift store. I never expect to find anything. I have learned that there is another thrift store nearby that I have never been to. I don't know when they open, if they've always been there or if they're new. But they are new to me, so I'm going to see if I can find that. After a battle of wills with the GPS, I finally found the store. It was a rather small space filled with a lot of items and a lot of people, so I can't say I was super comfortable. Add to that, it being an entirely new place to me and my discomfort of filming in public, yeah, I had some difficulty. But I was able to investigate price differences. Some things were fairly comparable to my local thrift store, and some things were very much more expensive. Some things were even less expensive, but also damaged. I had almost given up on finding any sort of fabric or notions when, just beyond the book section, I found the craft corner. There were a few fun items, but nothing that really intrigued me. Okay, so that last place wasn't a success. Or it was a great success, depending on how you look at it. But guess where I get to go now? The bookstore! And here we come to the main reason for my trip to the big city. My mom recently purged a bunch of books, and I offered to take them to Half Price Books because I haven't been there in a while. Not since I was a young sapling, and I really wanted to visit it once again. I've had a list of books that I've been hoping to find, but haven't had the good fortune to find at my local thrift store. The store was very much the same as I remembered it, except the bookcases seemed so much taller. Their organization is a little bit confusing to my brain, but I did find my way around eventually. I also found loads of books I wished I could take home, but I had to be selective and stick to the list, mostly. And the budget. I found several books by Robert Louis Stevenson, but I was dismayed that the one I was looking for was nowhere to be found. It was not even included in the collection of his works. The audacity. I've been hoping for a great long while to own a copy of The Black Arrow, but alas, it was not to be. I was certain I would find nothing on the clearance shelves, but I decided to take a peek anyway, and to my great surprise, what did I find? This is actually the exact same cover of the book I borrowed from the library when I was first introduced to this book. My trip to the great city had become worth it. I am shooketh. I am so jazzed about The Black Arrow. I'm flummoxed. I'm so happy. My brain is not working at full capacity. I am so tired, but I want to make one more stop before going home. I was curious about this thrift store, wondering if it would be very different being in the big city. Though it was unfamiliar to me, it had a better feel than the one I visited previously, being a more open space with taller ceilings and a good deal more natural lighting. But as to treasures, I found nothing that sparked my interest. The pricing was fairly similar to the pricing at my local thrift store, not astronomically different, maybe just a little bit more expensive. Nothing much in there either. That's okay. That just means I didn't spend very much money. I don't remember what I got today. I know I got a couple things at my local thrift store, and I can't remember what they were now. I do remember that I am 3 books richer, so that's awesome. And I get to go home now. That's also awesome. I will see you at home. And we're back. It's a different day. It's actually a different week. That trip really took it out of me, and I had to regroup. And then some other things happened, and I had to regroup again. But I am back now, and I wanted to share my spoils with you. I am slightly obsessed with boxes, and I thought this one was so pretty. It is, however, not for me. This is a gift for someone else who I think will really appreciate it. I hope so. I just thought this was so cute. I'm going to be turning this into something else. Just gonna add a few things to it and turn it into a usable item. If you can guess what I'm going to do with this, leave it in the comments below. If you guess correctly, I will be shocked. Or maybe not. Is it obvious? Might be obvious. I don't know. But I really like it, and it's super cute, and I am rather excited to get crafty with this. I also found this on the clearance rack. It's 100% rayon. There are a few damages here and there, but that's okay. I can work around that, turn it into something else. I don't usually enjoy board games. I don't like games that focus on having a winner and losers, but this game really focuses on working together to survive, so I really like it. Have I ever actually played it? Am I taking a risk by actually playing it? Maybe. All the pieces appear to be here except for the timer, but I think that's okay. We can just get a timer. I don't tend to like board games because of the competitive nature, but also instructions just make me dizzy and agitated. But these are so fun. I can work past that to learn how to play this, I think. Do I have anyone I can play this with? That's beside the point. It's so pretty. I did end up getting a book I've wanted for a really long time. Just never really allowed myself to purchase it. Books are kind of expensive, and I just haven't allowed myself to purchase very many books until recently. I can get them from the library for free, so I figure I probably shouldn't be purchasing them, but I also have a problem borrowing books from the library because I'm so terrified that I am going to be late in returning them. I don't know. It just hangs over my head when I borrow a book from the library. And so I always feel so guilty though if I don't get it read in time and I have to take it back, but it's hanging over me. So I don't even enjoy when I do read it. It's a weird situation. I know. I can't explain it. I just feel like someone has set a timer and I feel so pressured to finish before the timer goes off. So it becomes a task and I can't get myself to complete it. So I haven't really borrowed books from the library in a really long time. It's just too stressful. But then I also haven't purchased books, so I haven't read books in a very long time. Also, it's really hard to make myself sit still and read. I got lots of book struggles, but I love books, so that's why I struggle. My favorite item of all. I don't remember it being this big. Oh, right. The type is fairly large. That's why. It's fairly large. Oh, no spoilers if you haven't read it yet. I love this picture. I find this picture beautiful. Part of my childhood. It's a little bit messed up, but I'm keeping this. This is what it looks like underneath it. It's so pretty. And it's mine. I found 3 books at Half Price Books, and everything else I found at my local thrift store. Didn't find anything at the other thrift stores. I was just very curious to know how they differed from my local thrift store. Mostly about the price points. I was very curious to know if they were lower, higher, about the same. And for the most part, they were pretty close. Maybe couple dollars difference here and there. Some items were very much more expensive, but for the most part, around the same. I satisfied my curiosity there. I was curious about the selection too, but that's really hard to figure because the selection is going to be different every day. You never know what's going to be there. Some stores, yes, might be better for particular items. For example, I got most of this at my local thrift store. And I know that I am extremely fortunate to have a thrift store so close to me that has fabric and crafts. Not all thrift stores do. As to selection, I would have to say, yes, my local thrift store is the best thrift store out of the 4 I went to. It's the best pertaining to fabric and crafts. But as to other treasures, you never know what's going to be there, so going in consistently is very important. That's the thrift store way. You have to be consistent, you have to keep checking. My local thrift store happens to be very close to the grocery store I go to, so every week before I do my grocery shopping, I run into the thrift store to see if they have anything. I have come out of there empty-handed so many times. I know it looks like I have found a lot, but this has been over 10 years of searching, maybe? Most of it, anyway. I did not find all of this at my local thrift store, but most of it. And that's been over a period of 10 years. So if I ever say I found this at the thrift store in a video, I could be talking about yesterday. I could be talking 10 years ago. My point is, I consistently check my local thrift store. Sometimes I find things, sometimes I don't. Probably if I consistently visited those other 3 thrift stores every week, I would find some pretty exciting things. I'm just not willing to drive 45 minutes, an hour and a half to visit those thrift stores every week. I do not enjoy going far from home. All in all, I'm really glad I went. It was very taxing, but I think it was well worth it. I found my book that I have been searching for a long time. And sometimes I can feel like I might be missing out, not being willing or able to travel up to the big city very often. But I don't think I necessarily am. I think it's really good to have an adventure once in a while, but it's also okay to stay close to home. I think there are probably some amazing things to be found at those other thrift stores if you can be consistent, but there are also some amazing things to be found close to home. I think there's like a book or a movie about that.